And we are live. Today we have a very special guest, French quarterback Paul Durand, who just got back from the World Games, won the championship with Team France. It's been a great year for you, Paul. You also won the French championship for the Flash La Courneuve. How you doing, man? Thanks for being with me today.
It's crazy. It's crazy for me, crazy year, crazy for the Flash, crazy for the French national team. So great year, really.
Yeah. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about the World Games. What was that experience like for you? And you guys beat Team Germany. What an accomplishment.
First of all, the World Game was amazing. I didn't expect this kind of craziness. The opening ceremony was amazing, and a really great organization by the Polish people. So first of all, yeah, it was amazing, and the cream of the pie was the game against Germany. First time ever that French national team beat Germany. So yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, and what was that like before the game? I mean, did the French team, did you guys know that you were going to win? Were you confident going into the game? Or were there a lot of nerves in the locker room? You know, France had never beat Germany. You know, what was that like before the game?
Hey, it was like we didn't like. We didn't think a lot about this. It was like playing a game and doing the best that we can to execute plays and be physical against a big German team. So we were like, okay, everything can happen, and let's play football, and we see.
And you, in fact, dominated. I mean, it was a low-scoring game. The final score was 13-7 or
14-6.
14-6. Sorry, 14-6.
Yeah.
And what did that feel like after the game when you guys won? I mean, describe that.
Yeah, it was amazing. I wasn't able to believe it. Like I played a lot of game against Germany, and at the end it was all the time the same result. Was the loss against them, and so yeah, I didn't believe it at the beginning. It was like, it's so crazy.
Yeah, well, it was very impressive to watch you personally, along with your excellent running backs. It's always fun to watch Stephen Yepmo. You got Kevin Mamba at tight end. You got a lot of good receivers. Let's talk about Stephen Yepmo right now. What kind of running back is he like? I mean, he looks like Marshawn Lynch out there.
I don't really know who we like. I know he played like you say, like Marshawn Lynch, like all those like little backs who are really powerful. And it's a pleasure to play with him because he's a great teammate and a great guy who always helped team before himself. So yeah, a great running back.
Well, and quite frankly, there was a great balance for Team France. You had a great running game established with Steven, and then, you know, really all tournament long, you were throwing very well, opening up the run game for Steven. So talk about your receiving core. You know, your slot receiver had how many touchdowns in the tournament, and you guys seem to connect every game.
Yeah. We've got a young crew of receivers. Like first time for all of them in this kind of competition. So we didn't know what to expect from those guys, but they really stepped up. Kevin made a great game as a tight end against the German team, so they were amazing. Yeah, really.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You had a great supporting cast, and kind of along, you know, your great receivers, your great running backs. You know, I want to touch on the athletes in France. I think that from the athlete standpoint, France competes with all the other countries in Europe as far as they have awesome receivers, awesome running backs, awesome defensive backs that can run. Kind of talk about what it's like playing with some of those guys.
It's great because like I can throw every ball I want. They're always gonna catch it, and they got some speed and they got the knowledge of football also. We always got a lack of physicality, like size and being big, but they got the speed and the hands and the willingness to go catch everything. So yeah, great to play with those guys.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And so talk about football in France. You play for Flash La Courneuve. You won the championship. talk about, the journey of the Flash this year and how you guys kind of battled back. I mean, was it an undefeated season for you guys?
Nearly 9-1. We made 9-1. Yeah, we've got a tough game against the Argonauts during the season, but we learned a lot with this game. The first thing is like our new head coach bring a lot for the team, like as far as being prepared and being present to practice and like practicing always the toughest way we can do. So it was all about practice, really.
Mm-hmm. Right. And where's the head coach from? Is he French? Is he American?
Yeah, French. His name is Nicolas Simoneau. He coached during like 4 years for the under-19 Flash team. Mm-hmm. And took the job like 2 years ago, bring us to the semi-final last year and this year to the championship. So yeah, he's a great coach, great worker. He's always thinking about football and try to do his best for us. So yeah, great coach.
Well, and Paul, it's so fantastic to see a French quarterback win the French title, and in a league in the French elite where almost every team has an American quarterback. And when you look at Europe as a whole, pretty much every quarterback on the biggest teams is American. You have quarterbacks like Marco Ehrenfried for the Unicorns. You have Anders up in Sweden. Talk about what that means for the Flash to be able to have a French quarterback so they can bring in the offensive linemen, they can bring in other positions, and you guys can really help grow the other positions and move the ball quickly.
Like you said, the key was to bring offensive linemen to the table because they changed the way we practice. You know how it is in France. Sometimes you're gonna be at practice. You're gonna have like 3 offensive linemen on the field, so you cannot really work. You cannot do like team opposition, all this kind of thing. But this year's was every time was a complete on the practice field. We were able to really. Make some great opposition, and learn about it. Everyone took a step forward thanks to them. Like D-line, linebackers, DB, running game, passing game. We really enjoy that. So I think the key was to have this O-line.
Right. Well, and Paul, the French national team just won the World Games. As far as the French elite, how does the French elite compare to other leagues in Europe? The GFL or Austria. What is the difference in levels there?
I think we are not quite at the same level as Austria and Germany because they got maybe more financial. Don't know the word, but
yeah, they have more financial support.
Yeah. So sometimes it's hard to compete with those guys, but if you want to be a winner, you need to practice like this. And so sometimes French people need to understand that if you want to take a higher step, we need to be better at practice, better at the gym, better at everything except during the game. But we need to put more work on it.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and so do you think that the French elite league will grow to get to Germany or Austria? Are there opportunities to raise more money from French companies?
For the money, I don't know, but we can do some. We can, as far as player and coach, we can really work on being better on the field to get closer from those guys because French, like you said, French people got the skills to play DB, receivers, running backs, even defense. We got struggle with the line, D-line, O-line. This is not the way physically the French people are not this big like German and Austria. But if we think about skills player, I think we're better than them. Yeah.
And as you talk about linemen, I want to give a shout out to Jean-Philippe Eldin. I know.
You are a teammate, huh?
Yeah. I played with JP for the Nîmes Centurion in 2014. He's an exception. He's an excellent offensive lineman.
Yeah, we got excellent offensive line. And don't get me wrong. Our line in national team was amazing. Bastien, Olivier, Nior. Dooms who is playing in German league. Even in the Flash, we got Brian and Wesley. Those guys are good, but we need to have a lot more for
Yeah.
in order to have a bigger league.
Right, right. Yeah, no doubt. Absolutely. And so, you talked about one of your linemen playing in Germany. Do you think that will be a trend for French players? The more that football grows in France, French players will go and play in Germany, will play in Austria, and actually become professional players that are paid?
Uh, I will say that I will love them to stay in France, like in order to make our football growth. But I understand them. Like we don't got enough money in France to pay them. So if they want to go there and play like real football and getting better, this is what they have to do. But I would love them to stay in France and make us grow.
Right, right. Well, and so, maybe even within France, it would be great as well, even if, players started becoming professional. That's really what we want at Podyum and is to elevate the game so that players can focus only on football. They can have side jobs, but they want to be pro players. So, that would be great if even in France, if, you've got a couple of players from the South who come to Paris, or a couple of guys in Paris who want to go hang out on the beach in the south of France. I would love to see more of the exchange and more of the really true professionalism and trying to make guys pro.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But it's like we say at the beginning, it's all about money. And like for the moment, we don't have enough money. Maybe we need to have more media around us to bring more company on the game. But like right now, yeah, all about like if we want to start paying players, we need to have more money, yeah, for sure.
No doubt, no doubt. And so, Paul, what are your personal goals for the future of your football career? How old are you, and how much football do you have left, and what do you want to see out of your career?
Like now it's like I'm 29. I started playing football at 10, mm-hmm. So I think it's more the end for me than the beginning. Even if like those kind of seasons give me the power to continue, but sometimes, like you say, we are like amateur players, so we need to focus on our private life. My wife will not love me to stay too much on the football field also, so I will to think about the end. So maybe 2080, maybe 2090, but like 2 more years, maybe that's it.
Well, Paul, how old is Tom Brady? 40, 41 now? You got
how much money made Tom Brady?
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. Yeah, I'll give you that. I would
love to play like maybe 10 more years, but like sometimes mentally it's more difficult than physically. Practice every night. You know how it is. Like you practice at 7, end up at 11 p.m. You gotta go back, work the next days. Sometimes it's hard.
Yeah. Well, and so Paul, what do you do for your day job on top of playing football?
I'm working for the Flash. I take care of an academy where we train players, young players, like physically and technically, to be able maybe to go overseas or stay in France and make the football better.
There we go. Well, yeah. And what's the name of the academy?
So in ECFA. So in French means School of Student Athletes for American Football.
Excellent.
Yeah. So we make them practice every day. When they quit school, they came to practice. They got gym. They got field, and they want like, yeah. It's a big thing for them because they practice a lot and they have to take care of the study at the same time. So it's hard for them, but those guys who are in this process are really enjoying the sport and love to be there. So that's great to see that.
Excellent. And last question, Paul, what is your hopes for the future of football in France, and what can you do and the guys in France to help grow this thing?
I would love like to see like big stadium with like plenty people watching the guys playing football and seeing that on TV and having players who can be paid to play football. I would love to see that. I don't know where, when, and where it's gonna be possible, but this is what I would love to see for the future of football in France. what can we do for that? As a player, like play your ass off and give like some media, some real pictures to see. Like for the French final, I think the French final this year was like great to see. This is like good football on the field. So I hope it's gonna be like that every year and better every year.
I love it, man. Well, Paul, thank you so much for being on. Congratulations on all your success, and I look forward to watching you over the next 1 to 2 years to finish your career, man.
Thanks for everything.
Yeah. Thanks, Paul. Take care, buddy.
You too. Bye. Ciao. Bye.
Ciao.